There was no food for him. He was feeding the pigs, but still he didn't want to go back to his father. So many, they are suffering today. They know why they are suffering today, because they are away from God. They are away from the presence of God. But they don't want to come back to God. Because they think that now God will not accept them. They think that they have committed so much sins. They can't come back now. They think that it's too late. My dear brothers and sisters, it's not too late. If you are living today, there is a time for you. So please come back where you are. Please come to God. That's the most important thing. Let's read further. When he came to his senses, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare? And here I am starving to death." Now he came to his senses. See, we have to come back to our senses. Sometimes we lose our sense, and that's why we get into trouble. Why we fall into trouble? Because we lose our sense. But we have to come back to our senses. He came back to his senses. How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants." So he got up and went to his father. It's time for you to get up and go to God. I don't know where you are sitting today. Maybe you are sitting in the prostitute house. Maybe you are sitting in the beer bar. Maybe you are sitting in the pub. Maybe you are sitting in the place where you are not supposed to sit. It's time to get up. It's time to get up from that place. Get up and go to the Father. Get up and go to God. He's there for you. He's always for you. He loves you. Please come back to your senses. Maybe you have left God 10 years back. Maybe you have left God 5 years back. Maybe you have left God 20 years back. It's time to come back to sense. It's time to come back to God. Let's see what happened. Let's see whether the father welcomed him or not. But while he was still a long off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arm round him and kissed him. The son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son." But the father said to his servant, "Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandal on his feet." Maybe you are feeling today where if I go back to God, God will accept me or not. Because I have sinned so much. I have done the things which I am not supposed to do. Will God accept me? My dear brothers and sisters, God is our loving Father. He is a forgiving Father. He loves us so much. He's there waiting. He's waiting for you. He wants you to come back.